All right, let's take a look and see on the YouTube channel like what it looks like.
Congrats on your first stream, LarsonLand.
Let's see. Oh, that's nice. I have to like have the like chat open on a separate thing. Dude, this is weird. What's up, Kirby Smith? This is our first live stream on YouTube. Not really sure what we're going to talk about on here, but East Bay.
Got a rain delay.
Yeah, East Bay, high limit, under a rain delay right now. So just kind of coming on here. This is something we wanted to do for a while now, and just see how it goes. So, Kirby, what's up, man? Get talking in the chat. Anybody watching, just get involved. Anything you want to talk about, we'll fire away.
Let's see. Did you already tweet this out?
Yeah. Do you want to tweet it out?
Yeah, let's read it.
Yeah, you can tweet out the link. Just say like live on YouTube under the East Bay rain delay. Trying to work out all the details here. So anybody, if our audio sounds a little rough, just tell us what we need to adjust and fix. Kirby said, what did you think about the Netflix show? Dylan, did you get a chance to watch the Netflix show yet? I know you said you were trying to watch it.
It was really good. It was better than I thought it was going to be, honestly. The cinematics I thought were really cool, and like you said, I mean, we already knew what happened because we obviously followed it all closely, but I mean, it's just cool seeing like behind the scenes, like what all the drivers are doing in their personal lives and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think so too. I wish that there was more Kyle Larson stuff involved in it. I kind of had hope for more because, Kyle kind of posted on his social media that he was going to be in it, and a couple little clips there, but it really was focused towards the like Denny Hamlin 2311 storyline, some of the other playoff drivers, which definitely was cool to see, but yeah, I mean, I think it's something that NASCAR could definitely build on in the upcoming seasons for sure.
Let me pull up my chat. My computer.
Yeah. I got the chat pulled up on a different monitor. Sean Campbell chiming in, just guys being dudes, watching some good old dirt racing. Yeehaw! Yeah, great way to spend a Monday night watching High Limit kick off their season. Unfortunately, the rain kind of plaguing that right now.
Here, I'm gonna do one on Facebook as well.
Yeah, go ahead. There's Mike in the chat. Mike, part of the Rumley 6 crew. Mike, I definitely have big time FOMO from East Bay with the Lucas Oil. I wanted to I wanted to be there every single night. The racing just seemed like it got better and better as the week went on. And then obviously Dalton Wilson picking up the win to finish off the Winter Nationals there was huge and a good storyline for sure.
Okay. Cover all the bases here. Put it on Instagram too.
We just gonna put on the story.
Yeah, I'm just gonna throw on the story.
Sure. We're up to a big 11 viewers. Yeah, I honestly like the October date. I'm heavily considering going to now because I was thinking about going to Charlotte to the Roval that weekend for NASCAR, but with how good East Bay was, I think that's gonna be where I'm changing my plans to for that weekend in October. Dylan, Sean's asking you, what's the weather like where you are in Florida? Do you think they'll get the race in tonight?
I mean, I'm on the other coast, so I mean, we have no rain over here, but I'm about 3 hours out from Tampa, so it's clear here right now. But I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, I'm hoping the weather's good this weekend as well for Daytona, and then we have Golden Miles the following week, so hopefully the weather can just hold off here in the sunshine state they call it.
Still coming to Golden Isle next weekend. Yeah, I'll be there. And Dylan, are you gonna be at Golden Isle all the nights or just for the Saturday night?
I'm planning on just a Saturday night.
Okay.
It's about an hour and a half from me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna fly in on Friday, so I'll be there for the Friday night show and the Saturday. I'm gonna miss the Thursday night where it's just the sprint cars, but I'm gonna be there for Friday night and Saturday night, the late model stuff, the stuff that really matters the most.
Okay.
Looking at the Flow Racing stream on my other monitor, Dylan, it's still a torrential downpour there at East Bay right now. The Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series got pretty lucky with how the forecast or the weather played out for them over the past week, only having Monday rained out this past week and getting all the other shows in. It seemed like it was too good to be true, and now High Limit getting plagued by the weather in Florida.
Yeah, it's definitely unlucky. 80%, 70% chance Saturday and Sunday. Jeez. That's it wouldn't be Daytona without a rain chance of rain though.
So you're saying, oh, so Volusia just got canceled, rained out there. So where were they at in the show at Volusia, Mike? Were they into heat races already there or past heat races? Take a look at my race pass here. Dylan, Kyle came out of the gates really quick at East Bay tonight. Third quick in Group A qualifying, and then went on to win his heat race. A good start. Looked pretty quick. What do you think of the High Limit format? I mean, the leader or the quick time guy starting fourth in the feature or in the heat race, and then having to basically win to knock the other guys out from being in the dash.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely interesting. I mean it's something like we've never seen before in other series, but you said it was like if Sweet won, then the other guys running the rejar in the heat, or
Yeah, so I think if like in Larson's heat, for instance, he started on the pole because he was the second quick qualifier in his heat, and then Sweet was quick time. that made it so if Sweet won the heat race, then Larson or the second or whoever was like second to him wouldn't be able to make the dash redraw. So I think the way it is if you're that fourth place guy, you're gonna get into the dash regardless, and then it's the winner of the heat that makes it in.
Gotcha.
Additionally, so so they were just about to start features at Volusia and got rained out. So.
Let me look at my forecast because
Yeah, it looked like it was supposed to rain or like stop raining after like a half hour or so in Tampa. So hopefully it gets out quick enough, but it's probably going to take a lot of work on the track to get it to a raceable condition.
yeah, I see the radar. It's like just missing me. The
Sean
storm.
says, switching topics a little, thoughts on the Super Bowl last night.
Oh boy.
We talked about this a little bit before we got on stream here, and honestly, we were as Ravens fans. Me and Dylan are both Ravens fans. Tough loss a couple weeks ago to the Chiefs, so we were definitely rooting for the 49ers big time. But man, what a game. It was a good game overall. I mean, you couldn't ask for a closer game and a better Super Bowl than that, but definitely didn't want to see the Chiefs win, that's for sure, Dylan.
Yeah, I mean it kind of goes back to like there at the end. I mean, we I think we both agreed McCaffrey should have got the look at that 3rd and 4. I mean, I think they would have had a better chance getting the first down. The clock runs down more running the ball. I think it just gave them a better chance. I mean, put the ball in the best player's hands, and McCaffrey's the best player there. But and then of course I knew the PAT was going to come back to bite them. Classic NFL style, just ended up being the perfect miss to send her into OT. But yeah, I mean, Pat Mahomes just gave him too much time. I mean, it's Patrick Mahomes. You kind of expect that when running a 2-minute drill or less. I mean, it's just bound to happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole deal with that thing at the end of the game. You with in overtime, the 49ers needed to go for it on that 4th and 4 instead of kicking the field goal and giving Pat Mahomes the chance to come back and win the game. I mean, I was thinking at that point, I was like, there's no way that they on 3rd and 4. I thought there was no way that they were going to throw the ball there. I thought it was definitely going to go in McCaffrey's hands. And then if they didn't get the first down, give it to him again. I mean, we kind of what we said earlier was you have to put the ball in your best player's hands, and that's exactly what the Chiefs did with Patrick Mahomes, allowing him to run a little bit, something that we haven't seen him do all season, really, and it paid off for them. They got the ball to Kelsey late in the game, and it ultimately led them to victory. So definitely sucks, but
Yeah,
there's
and then
always next year.
there's the debate. We were kind of talking about it in overtime where the deferring the ball. And I mean, I think the argument for that, I mean, yeah, the Niners, they could have got it after the Chiefs. They would have had 4 downs, but then people were saying the defense was just so tired that like if the Chiefs, I mean, if they sent the defense out there right after the fourth quarter, I mean, they did end up marching anyway. I mean, it's kind of a moot point because they did end up marching, but the defense was gassed. But and then the whole thing with the players, I mean, they didn't know the overtime rules. They came out and said a bunch of 49ers players. I mean, how do you as an NFL player not know the overtime rules, or how do the coaches not explain it to you, or the team captains that go up to the coin toss in OT? I mean, the refs sit there, they explain the whole play-by-play scenario. So that's a pretty bad look on the 49ers side. I mean, your players coming out afterwards saying they had no idea what's going on. They had no OT strategy whatsoever. Could have also been a reason why they took the ball first over the Chiefs, but I don't know. I mean, I kind of expected the Chiefs to win, and that ended up being the outcome.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody. I mean, like I said, you're from the Maryland area. I live in Maryland. A bunch of Ravens fans all around us. Everybody was kind of cheering for the 49ers, and Maybe I also kind of feel like a lot of people around the country were cheering for the 49ers over the Chiefs just because of the Patrick Mahomes, I mean the Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift thing. It's kind of just gotten annoying to everybody. They're tired of seeing it, and so a lot of people cheering for the 49ers, but I think everybody kind of knew deep down that the Chiefs were going to be the team to beat in the Super Bowl, and two in a row for them, and going for three in a row is huge. I mean, no team has ever won three Super Bowls in a row, so if they're able to do that, that's going to be a huge feat for them.
And now you got everyone trying to open up a GOAT debate on whether or not Mahomes is better than Brady already. But yeah, I mean, he's definitely on pace. I mean, he's young. He's accomplished so much. I mean, all the AFC championships in a year, third Super Bowl. I mean, he's definitely on pace. But I mean, to reach that level of Tom Brady, he's still got a ways to go. So that's kind of a ridiculous thing that I'm sure we'll continue to hear year after year. But I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy, winning a Super Bowl. Everyone just thinks Chiefs are just kind of automatic locks. But I mean, looking at the AFC next year, I mean, there's been a ton of injuries this year. That's why I think that it was also the Ravens' year to their window may have closed. I mean, the Bengals are serious contenders with Burrow. I think the Chargers are going to do very well with Harbaugh leading at coach. With Herbert, I think they'll get things done. Who knows what the Jets are going to do with Rodgers? I mean, there's just so many injuries in the AFC. It'd be interesting to see who it is going to take down. The Chiefs. Hopefully the Ravens make it back to the championship game. But I don't know. It's not looking hopeful. I think losing our defensive coordinator hurts a lot. But we'll see next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's Mike McDonald was huge for the Ravens, but lots of free agents, lots of moving parts there. So we'll have to kind of wait and see. But going back to some of the racing stuff with High Limit, obviously still under a rain delay at East Bay right now. Mercedes F1 fan 2024 says that the weather app on my phone says it's going to stop raining in 16 minutes. Let's take a look here again. See what it looks like. Yeah, still says it's raining right now. Kind of glad I didn't go tonight. I was debating on like going to East Bay for like the Friday night and Saturday night of Winter Nationals, and then into the Monday and Tuesday here for High Limit. And obviously, yeah, the Lucas Oil stuff Friday and Saturday was awesome, but yeah, rain delay definitely
Looks like
sucks.
it's kind of have the chance to pass for anyone that can even see that the radar. Tampa's there in the middle. It looks like it can possibly move past a little bit, but we'll see. Hopefully.
Sean said High Limit drivers looked better at Volusia compared to the Outlaw guys. Well, I mean, I think so. I think that the High Limit guys looked really good for sure, but then David Gravel took the overall Big Gator championship, so obviously he kind of came out on top of that deal. But yeah, Brad Sweet looked really good. Tyler Courtney was looking pretty good too. So definitely good for the High Limit guys to pick up a couple wins there at Volusia. And Dylan, I know you were hoping that Kyle was going to run a couple nights at Volusia, but it
Yeah.
seemed like he was out. He was still out in Arizona at I saw he was at the motocross thing
Yeah,
the
that would
other
be
night.
fun to go to a motocross. I haven't really thought about going to that, or I've always wanted to go to like an NRHA or NHRA event rather. I mean, both of those look like a really fun time. I'd love to go to one of those sometime. But yeah, I was hoping he was coming to Volusia. I mean, that's my local track, only about an hour or so away. So it's that, and then Golden Isles is the next closest. So
They have the motocross thing there at Daytona, right? Like right in
yeah,
the grass. That'd be pretty cool to see
yeah, might have to
since you're
look
pretty
into that.
close. I don't know when that is. Let's see.
I looked at tickets for it one time. I don't think it was really that much.
Does anybody know when that is in the chat? Anybody?
Let's see.
Googling it now.
Yeah, I'm looking at
Daytona Supercross.
March.
That's
Monster Energy AMA Supercross March. Yeah, March 2nd, Saturday. It's not too far out.
When Kyle, I think it was Kyle posted the clip on, I don't know if it was on his Instagram or what it was, but I've never been to one of those Supercross events either, and it just looks crazy with like when they're going through the little like the jumps, and it's like they're like 10 rows of bikes back and forth, and they're all going up and down like simultaneously. Like it's looks crazy. It looks crazy dangerous too, Dylan. I know one of my coworkers, he likes to watch that, and it definitely seems exciting to watch.
Yeah, I watch a little bit of the Deegan family on YouTube, and Haley Deegan's brother, he races, and he's pretty good. He's really young. He's done well so far, but it's kind of cool to see that up close. I mean, kind of like how we experienced the on location in the pits of NASCAR. You can kind of see on their videos the up close of motocross and all the behind the scenes. So, anyone go check that out if you're interested in that. But it definitely seems cool. I would love to go to one. I'm not sure how. I mean, it's probably cool to see in the pits, but it's probably almost cooler to see in the grandstands because you can see the
Oh yeah.
the whole course.
Well, yeah, dude. I mean, if you're high enough up at Daytona, like watching that, it's probably like one of the best views in that sport. Like being able to see it from like that high up, like it's probably a cool bird's eye view, compared to like some other places. Like I guess they just mainly go to like stadiums and stuff for like some of those, some of
They
those.
had I saw one near the end of last year. I think they went to the Raymond James, the Buck Stadium. They had one. I think that might have been the one Deegan won. I'm not sure, but yeah, they go to pretty big venues to do it.
Gotcha. Sean says in the chat, I'm surprised the race is still being considered to resume tonight. I've been to Williams Grove many times, but it rained for like 5 minutes and they canceled the whole night. Yeah, I feel you there, Sean. I was at the BAPS race last summer when they canceled it after like 10 or 15 minutes of it raining there, and it kind of the rain just being showed on the Flow broadcast kind of reminds me of that kind of rain that night at BAPS, where it just like all of a sudden just started pouring like super hard, and they canceled it pretty quick. So I don't know. They seem like they're pretty diligent to like want to get this show in tonight, but they might have to postpone it. I mean, it's the fact
How's
of
the
racing.
how's the weather look tomorrow there?
Yeah, I haven't even really looked at that much. Still 17 viewers in the stream right now. Thanks to everybody for tuning in while we're under this rain delay at East Bay. If you got anything you want us to talk about, go ahead and leave a comment in the chat.
Yeah, it's looking clear tomorrow. 64 and clear.
Man, I just hope it's warm when we go to Golden Isle. I hope it's at least like I'm so used to the past couple years when I went down there in January, it was just freezing, like in the 30s and 40s, and I really hope that it's at least like in the 50s and 60s to not freeze our butts off out there because it gets really cold out at Golden Isle.
I remember, I think it was last year. We got like the coldest, like it was like the coldest temperatures like in years. Like it was a really bad cold front in like the northern Florida, really South Georgia area. So it's pretty unlucky for you last year.
Looks like looking at a tweet right now from High Limit Racing, saying we are postponed. Unfortunately, showers moving through brought too much rain, and we're done for tonight at East Bay. They said they're going to finish tomorrow or finish Monday's program tomorrow. So sounds like it's going to be double features tomorrow night. There's going to be a full show for the Tuesday show, hot laps, qualifying, heat races, C main, B main, A main, dash, all that good stuff, and then they're going to finish this tonight's show tomorrow as well with a C main dash, B main, and the A main. So double show tomorrow night, Dylan. Gonna probably be a long, long night, that's for sure. But what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, long night. We might have to boost up the stream again. I mean, we got on here with intentions of, trying to cover East Bay, but obviously not able to do that tonight, so we might have to do that tomorrow.
Yeah, looks to be
Kind of sucks because it looked like it was kind of passing, but it
it
might
looked
just be completely drenched.
yeah, I think it was just so much rain in a short period of time, and um not much that the track
It,
crew would be able to do
it
to get it
looks like
right.
puddles all over the track on the Flow Racing View right now. Still raining. It's raining pretty good, so
Yeah, I mean it's raining super hard.
hot
So
laps tomorrow at 4 p.m.
yeah, so gonna start the show a little bit earlier tomorrow, get a head start on it, and hopefully no rain in the forecast for tomorrow. Let's see here. All right, so that's all wrapped up. Um, anybody in the chat wanna talk about anything else before we pop out of here and end our first stream here on LarsonLand? We were kind of hoping, we were planning for this to be a little bit of a longer stream. We were talking about it and planned it out before the rain delay even happened. We were going to kind of go live after heat races and kind of stay all the way through the A main, kind of talking about what's going on and having some timing up on the screen, but obviously did not go as planned here at all.
Golden Hours is what, the 24th? Is that the Saturday?
Let me see. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Let me pull
Yeah,
up
it's
my
looking like it's like low
spreadsheet.
70s to mid 60s during that week, but pretty low at night, so it's going to be a lot colder in the evening for us.
Yeah, but as long as it's not in the 30s and
Yeah,
40s, man, I'm good with that.
I can't take that weather.
First Daytona 500 first 500 Daytona 500 win this year. I don't see why we have luck for once, but who knows? You guys think Larson can win the 500? Man, I mean, Dylan, what do you think, man? I mean, you've been there to Daytona and watched Kyle race more than I have. Do you think Kyle can win it?
I don't know. I mean, the track record, it's not good, but these past few years at like his super speedways, I mean, he had that, what was it, fourth place finish at Dega. He's ran good at Daytona. It's just stupid stuff. I mean, he's been up there up front at the end. I mean, last year he was running like second with two to go, and he just got pushed in the middle, and it was over from there. So it's just kind of almost out of your control. I mean, it's pretty much just luck on your side, and hoping you can avoid the big one there at the end. But he's definitely been faster for sure in these super speedways the past few years. So I mean, I hope so. I mean, I'm planning to go. I hope I get to go, and that would be incredible to finally see him get a win in person, let alone a Daytona 500 if I'm able to go. But still chasing to see that Larson win in person. Just I think I've been kind of unlucky.
Yeah, of course. I got to see the win at Richmond last year, but I think that he, like you said, I think he's got the talent, the capability to win the car, everything like that. It just comes down to luck, really. I mean, it's kind of like we talked about with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. I mean, it takes a little bit of luck along the way to get there and win it. The Chiefs were a good team this year, but they definitely took um it took having some good luck to win it, and I think that's like the Daytona 500. It's obviously the Super Bowl of NASCAR racing, so it's gonna definitely take luck.
Between
Uh,
Bowman and him recently, he's been at the end of the race. He's not finishing, but he's close. Yeah, I mean, Bowman and Larson. I mean, they were front low last year. Bowman, he's been really fast. I mean, he had that front row record at Daytona for, does he still have that going? Is it just
uh,
500 or?
I think it's just for the 500, but I think
Uh,
he's still got that long streak going for. I don't know how many years in a row he's been on the front row, but
It's been like 4 or 5, I think.
yeah, I mean
It's pretty
Kyle's got
crazy.
Kyle's two in a row on the front row. He was second this past year, and then on the pole in 2022.
I'm
He
curious to see how Bowman's going to run this year because I mean last year he was
6 years.
running so good last year and then he got hurt in the sprint car and it kind of just ruined his year. But I mean he was what first in points for there for a while.
Oh yeah. I mean, before he got injured, he was having a really good season. I mean, it was crazy to see the difference between how that team started off last year and then after he came back. I didn't personally expect them to be uh, so bad. Really, I mean, that's the best way to put it. Really, is they were just flat out bad as the season progressed. I thought at some point, man, are they going to are they going to turn this thing around? You kind of thought that with him being the points leader once he got injured, but it didn't turn out that way. AZ Arizona Cowboy says, I'm liking Chase Rodman as an announcer. I think Chase is doing an awesome job too. I've been watching a lot of Chase's his videos on YouTube. It's cool to see. He did like a preview video for every single driver that's doing full time with High Limit. So that was cool to kind of get some like initial analysis on every driver, their previous races that they've ran with different series, and where he kind of thinks they're going to stack up going into the season. He's a really good announcer, and I'm happy that he got a shot with High Limit to be the kind of top dog. Indy 500 this year. Yep. Well, definitely. That's probably, I think every Larson fan's probably the most excited for that day this year in the month of May at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I mean, I'm going to be there. Hopefully, Dylan, you'll be in Charlotte. We're going to try and have some coverage of the double from both ends of it. I wanted to fly from Indy to Charlotte, but that's not logistically looking like it's going to plan out.
No, not unless got a miracle and rode with Larson in the helicopter on the way there. I don't think that's too likely. But yeah, hope to be in Charlotte. That'd be really cool to do. Like a on location video. You're there at Indy and it just kind of cuts to recording at Charlotte and kind of recapping the whole thing. I think it'd be really cool to experience it.
Let's see. Getting some text rolling through here. Catching up with some stuff. Okay, so off the top, no thinking. How many wins does Larson get this year? I'm going to go with, Sipe God says, going with 5. What do you think, Dylan? Just Cup Series wins, obviously, not including dirt.
I mean, there's just, I mean, just going back to last year, I mean, I don't want to go on it too bad because you said no thinking, but I mean, there was just so many wins he threw away last year. I mean, I think he's perfectly capable of winning like 7 or 8. I mean, I know it's a high number, but there was just so many wins last year that, I mean, he could have had and just kind of, threw away. I mean, I think one win that he'll have, this year is the Las Vegas race in March. I mean, he's always really good there in Las Vegas, so I think that he has a good chance for that to be his first one of the year. I hope it's Daytona, but we got Daytona, and then we're immediately going to another super speedway in Atlanta. So not very track friendly the first 2 races of the year, but then we get in the stretch where he has Vegas, Phoenix, Bristol. So yeah, just a lot of strong tracks from in March. He could honestly, it's not insane to say that he could sweep March. I mean, I guess it's very unlikely, but I think the March schedule is very friendly to Larson's driving style and historically how he's finished there.
Yeah, I mean, I would just, what came off the top of my head was probably like 5 or 6 wins. But he does have the potential to do a lot more than that for sure. With like what we've seen in the past. I mean, maybe we're just delusional, I guess you could say. But we there's a lot of races where Kyle is right up there, has the fastest car, and then just something happens that doesn't that just takes him out of the chance to win the race. And if he can just finish the races and do what they did in the 2021 season, this team could win a ton of races. I mean, they're just always up there. We saw that a lot last year, kind of with William Byron. Like, he just, when Larson would have an issue and fall out, Byron would be like right there to capitalize. And that was why Byron was so good and had so many wins last year, because they just were able to finish and put together whole races. And I think the 5 team needs to just be a little bit more consistent towards the end of races in order to get above that 5-6 win mark.
Do y'all in the chat think that obviously, we're all rooting for Larson if you're listening here on LarsonLand, but do you think Denny will ever get that championship? It was a big storyline in the Netflix series. I mean, him chasing that championship and that, not being his I guess one stain, I guess you could say, on his career. But does anyone think he gets that before he retires?
Arizona Cowboy says, agreeing with Dylan, I would argue that last year was as strong as his 2021 season. Had it not been for all the bad luck races, Larson has 10 wins. Yeah, I mean, if you take out all the bad luck, you take out the times of him getting taken out by other drivers, Hamlin and Ross, then
Chastain,
yeah.
Pocono was a win. I mean,
Man,
Homestead.
God, I was
They
so
do.
pissed at Pocono.
When they
I,
showed Homestead on in the Netflix series, him driving into the sand barrels, I mean that was another one. There's so many.
Yeah, dude. I mean, in like Homestead was even frustrating, I think, just because I think, in my opinion, that killed a lot. Maybe not, it didn't keep Larson from winning the championship at all, but it killed any momentum the 5 team had going into Phoenix, because, they were looking good, had good momentum out of Vegas, and then, you know, going into Martinsville, a track that Kyle's not historically been very great at. Obviously got the win last year there and broke through, but it was like he needed to carry that good momentum through Vegas into Homestead and then roll into Martinsville and Phoenix with a full head of steam, and that kind of sucked the air out for the 5 team a little bit. That Homestead issue, it was like they could have won that race so easily, and just a tough deal there. I was coming back from a Ravens game that day. I wasn't even watching it on TV. I was listening to the radio, and I was just like, oh my god, like it's just what else could possibly happen to take Kyle out. Dylan, outside of Indy this year, outside of the double, what are you looking most forward to on the schedule? I mean, we know we got Kyle running the entire midweek money series with high limit, a lot of high limit races sprinkled in there. Probably the big outlaw events like the Kings Royal, the Knoxville Nationals. What's on your mind for 2024?
I mean, as far as me going to races, I mean,
Or
I'm
yeah, I
really.
mean in general, just what is probably, what's your biggest, like, you're looking forward to, whether you're going or gonna be watching on TV.
I mean, I'm looking forward to Golden Hours because I don't get to see him run dirt very much here down in Florida. So I mean, we kind of got to take advantage of that at the beginning of the dirt schedule. So really excited to that for that. Yeah, I mean, excited for him to run the midweek. That's going to be a ton of races that he's going to race in high limit. So really, I'm just excited to see how the high limit series pans out. I mean, you have so many top drivers competing in it. They have so many cool little unique things that other series don't have. So I'm just kind of excited to see how that plays out, and hopefully I see him a little bit more in the late model. I mean, I don't know if that's really possible considering he's running so many midweek shows with high limit, but would love to see him there in the late model a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know if Mike's still in the chat or not, but I know Mike's probably hoping for some more late model stuff with the 6 car for sure. I don't know if we have any other races, currently on the schedule that are released or out to the public right now, other than Golden Isle for the 6 car. But have to assume he'll probably be at Atomic for the doubleheader in October. I've already got my flights booked for that one, October 1st, the night the stars come out, with Lucas Oil and High Limit on the same night at Atomic. That's one of those midweek money series races there. So kind of expect Kyle to be in the 6 car that night as well. Another one I'm looking forward to, and maybe this is a bold prediction for me. I'm kind of making a bold prediction right now, but there's still one date on the High Limit calendar that's to be determined. They haven't announced this one yet. It's on September 25th. It's one of the midweek money series events. I was looking at the tickets on High Limit's website, and for some reason, next to the to be determined race, it says Indianapolis, Indiana next to it, and it doesn't say that anywhere else other than on the ticket thing. They haven't yet, with the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, released the schedule for the BC39, the big midget event that they hold every single year at the dirt track at IMS. I'm predicting that, I know it's a tiny little track there, but what if the High Limit Sprint Car Series goes and runs on that little bull ring inside the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the dirt track at IMS, where they run the BC39? Obviously, everybody kind of knows the famous clip of Kyle there in the Stoops Pursuit a couple years ago, but that would be a huge event for High Limit to have something at IMS.
That would be crazy. You said it was on what, like a ticket thing?
Yeah, so let me see if I can pull it up here.
Any little Easter eggs on where it's gonna be.
Yeah, let me pull this up on the stream so everybody can see it here. So I was on the High Limit website, and I think it's under tickets here. Yeah, so I was just scrolling through these ticket things. They have all the dates on here. Most of them just say coming soon. You can buy your tickets for different races, but let's see. There it is right there. Wednesday, September 25th, 2024, to be determined, Indianapolis, Indiana. So does anybody else have any predictions of what track that could be in Indianapolis, Indiana that is not the dirt track at IMS? I mean, I know there's some other tracks in the Indianapolis area, but nothing that's like, I know technically the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is in Speedway, Indiana, not Indianapolis, but definitely would be cool to see that for sure. Trying to pull up that the Stoops Pursuit. Let's see, Sipe God. I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, but first year I'm going to more than one race. You're going to 3 for me. I'm excited. Hope Larson wins Sonoma this year. What 3 races are you going to this year? So you're going to Sonoma, and what are your other 2 races?
Sonoma's in what, June? The June race?
Yeah, I think so. Let me see. I got my schedule pulled up.
June 9th, the Save Mart 350.
June 9th. And Sonoma's always one too, where you kind of maybe get Kyle running double duty there, maybe in the Xfinity car. Nothing. Have you seen anything announced about the Hendrick 17 car in the Xfinity series yet? I don't think there's been anything yet with that. What it did?
Yeah, Iowa's after Sonoma. Forgot about that.
Oh yeah. Vegas, Sonoma, and Phoenix. So are you going to the spring race at Phoenix or the playoff or the finale? Let
me see if
they announced it like a month before last year, right? Yeah, I don't know when they announced it for sure, but didn't he run double duty at Sonoma last year? Yeah. Yeah, he ran double duty at Sonoma last year. Spring, Phoenix, fall,
So,
Vegas. Nice. That's a nice little
def-
mix.
definitely got some good Larson tracks there in the
Yeah,
West Coast.
yeah, for sure. Okay, AZ Arizona Cowboy says, I'm thinking Circle City Raceway in Indianapolis. How big is Circle City? I mean, I know that they run midgets there. Circle City Raceway. Track length.
I think it's decent.
Does anybody know the track length in the chat? Let's see. Oh, quarter mile. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I could be. How big is the dirt track at IMS? Okay, dirt track at IMS is a quarter mile as well. So kind of the similar size tracks there. Circle. I could definitely see Circle City being an option too for that. They're in late models and 410s. Lots of USAC races. Okay.
Because I was able to get my tickets delayed. I got the Larson Xfinity bundle. Oh yeah, Larson runs that Larson like fan thing at Sonoma. It's
Oh,
pretty
okay. So that's like a yearly thing. That's every
cool.
year, or
I don't know. I think I've seen it the past 2 years.
okay. It's pretty
And then I
cool.
think I think they have like a Larson like suite or something as well. And you like get to meet him and everything. I think it's like a Larson fan suite or something.
Gotcha. Wait, so Sipe God, have you so you've been to Sonoma before? I mean, I mean that seems like a cool track to go to. I've never been to a road course race before. I'm just wondering like what's the viewing experience like from the stands? Like is it cool or is it can you not really see much? Because I mean, I feel like Dylan. I mean, I feel like there's like a lot of cool road courses like in the U.S. There's a lot of nice places. Like I thought about going to Watkins Glen this year. Like Road America looks awesome. I know that's not on the Cup
Yeah.
schedule anymore, but Road America looks like a really fun place to go as a fan and just take it in and like as a viewing experience. Just to, it seems like more of a party like camping type environment than it is just like a sit in the stands
Right.
and
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
watch the
Like you'll
race.
see people just like camping out in the grass around like a random turn or something at
Yeah.
Road America. I think Coda would be kind of cool too to go to, just because like they run, um, like F1 races and stuff there. It's such a big facility.
Yeah. Yeah, I still haven't been to an F1 race yet. I'd love to go to an F1 race. My brother went to one this past year in Italy. Let's see. Yeah, it's amazing. I go to turn 9 up high. I don't see much of pit road entry, but I see the start. I can see where they finished qualifying. I would say that's the best spot, turn 9. So that's noted in case we ever go out to Sonoma. Turn 9's where we should sit.
Yeah, I've always been weary about going to a road course. I mean, I don't love them. They're not my favorite, viewing wise from home, but that's always been like a area of concern, like sitting there like somewhere in the stands and you see them go by for, 2 or 3 seconds and then you gotta wait like a whole nother minute and a half to see them again or longer.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of like, I don't know, the way I look at it is like, when we're sitting at the race and we are like at like by the pit box or whatever with hot passes, you're still just you're kind of watching the TV. You see the cars going by every so often or whatever, but it's not like you can see them the whole time. So, kind of getting used to like viewing a race like that is fun. Um I like just being there at the track, being around everything and taking in the whole scene.
It's the atmosphere of it.
Yeah,
It's great.
absolutely. Well, it's like Indianapolis, like at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Like I'm sitting in Southwest Vista again this year for the 500. And obviously, coming into turn one and through the short shoot, you can see the cars there, but for the back straightaway in 3 and 4, you can't see them at all. Like you're kind of just looking at the big screen trying to follow the battle, and it's just as exciting watching it like that with the crowd. That's the part I love about it the most, and I love about sports is just like being there with the big crowd. Everybody's, the emotion is just through the roof at events like that. Last year was a bit boring with the Toyota domination, but just the sound of the cars makes up for it. You don't see them, but hearing them makes up for it in response to Dylan.
Yeah, the sounds of the car are awesome. That's one thing I love to hear when we get the pit passes, just going back like in the garage area when they're warming the cars up and getting everything ready. It's just the sound of the cars. It's just insane. Which a lot of drivers, I mean, Larson's one of them. He says they need to tone down the cars are too loud, which I'm sure that's a problem in the car, but from the fan experience, make them louder, makes it that much better.
Let's see. But yeah,
They
Sipe
were
got
they were
him.
testing mufflers at what was it, Phoenix, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
they've ran the mufflers already at the Clash and at um at the Chicago Street Course. I think.
Oh
I
yeah,
think they
yeah.
ran both of those races last year had the mufflers, but I think at the Clash the big complaint was it was getting really hot inside of the car for the driver. So I think they were testing like a new design or something like that. I'm not like super technical with that kind of stuff on the cars, but
Yeah, I did hear them. I watched like Larson's interview after the Clash, and I think they did ask him like about the heat. He said he thought it was a little bit better, but he said it wasn't like any insane noticeable difference. But you know, I don't know. Fontana's destruction. Yeah, I mean, I hate that Fontana was destroyed. That was such a good track. I mean, when that first Fontana race, when Next Gen, the first year of Next Gen, that was like one of the best races of the year.
yeah.
It sucks to see that track torn down, and I think I mean, they're still planning on making it a short track, right?
Dude, I mean, I think they had interviews and talks at the Clash where they were saying like they weren't even sure if it was gonna, go forward with the short track plans yet necessarily. So it's sad. I mean, it's sad to see. That was such a good track for Kyle and
It was just such like an old surface. Like the racing was unlike any other. I
well,
mean, if
yeah.
you paved that track, it was it would be nowhere near the same style. But I mean, it probably did need a repave.
Well, it's just like the tracks in NASCAR have kind of like shifted to there's of the 2 mile tracks like that it was only Fontana and Michigan, and now you just have one track left, Michigan with the 2 mile configuration like that, and it's definitely like a style of racing that's different than any other that you see like on the mile and a halves and on the super speedways. It's a good in between. I like the style on those 2 mile tracks like that.
And it's just crazy because the next gen. I mean, that's where the next gen thrives is on tracks like Fontana, Michigan. Those 2 miles. So to turn it into a short track where the next gen's been pretty bad. I don't know.
Yeah. Sipecott said, I almost got an autograph from him at the Clash 2 man. So were you at the Clash this year, or was it a couple of years ago that you were at the Clash? That's I mean, if you I know you said you're not a big, dirt guy and you don't know a ton about the dirt stuff, but if you want to get into that, I don't know if I assume you're kind of in the California area. If there's any of that end of the season dirt midget stuff out there, maybe like Ventura, I don't know if that's close to you or not, but man, those are the opportunities to like get Kyle to sign stuff for sure. A lot easier than at a NASCAR race.
Yeah, dude, dirt is just super accessible. I mean, you can go up to any driver, and Kyle's like really good about it. I mean, he's obviously, big NASCAR guy, but he still stays out there. I mean, I forget what high limit race I was. I think was it Lincoln? I mean, he stood out there. He had like a crowd of like hundreds of people, and just stood out there after the race and just signed autographs, took pictures with everyone. So he's definitely good about it. So a dirt race would be your best opportunity for sure to meet him, get an autograph, picture, whatever.
Absolutely. Have you never been to? You said, yeah, I was planning on it. My first dirt race for sure. Yeah, definitely get out there. I think you'll fall in love with it. You won't regret it. It's a great experience to go out there, and if you like the sound of the cars, the style of racing, one good thing about dirt racing is you can see the whole track too, so you can see the race develop really from anywhere you sit at the track, especially on smaller tracks. So cool to definitely get out there. I definitely recommend it to anybody that hasn't been to a dirt race before. Coming up on an hour here in the live stream. I think we're gonna probably cut it off at an hour. I think the
Yeah, yeah,
East
about
Bay.
5 minutes left.
Yeah, about 5 minutes left. East Bay again. If you're just tuning in, we got seven viewers still on here now. I think we were up to a little bit over 20 at one point. So thanks to everybody that did tune in to our first live stream here on YouTube. East Bay again rained out for the night. We started the stream under a rain delay there. Big shower came through the area and wiped out tonight's event. They are going to be making up the rest of tonight's show tomorrow night. Gates will open, or I guess hot lap starting at 4 there at East Bay. So a little bit of an early start and then running a double show. So going to be exciting there at East Bay. There's like 2 or 3. I'm not sure. I think Chico was another one. I live in LA, but distance isn't an issue if it's in Cali or nearby. Yeah, so there is the high limit West Coast swing this year too. So let me pull up my. I kind of want to look at my Google. I have all these tracks plotted down on my Google Earth. Kind of, I'm a nerd about racetracks and stuff like that. So yeah, LA area. So you have Ventura for the midget stuff at the end of the year, the Turkey Night Grand Prix. That's a big race that I would definitely recommend going to. And then let's see. Um, see what else. AZ Arizona Cowboy says, do more live streams, build an audience and following, take down the Chaz. I honestly when we first started doing the whole LarsonLand podcast thing and starting our social media, we kind of we saw Chaz's stuff and we were like, what is this guy doing? Like he's just constantly making YouTube videos bashing Kyle Larson, and he even had interviews at Knoxville talking to Kyle where they're going at it with each other there, and it's totally crazy. But I think as time's gone on, we've gained a little bit more respect for Chaz and what he's done as a content creator. He's definitely big in the dirt racing industry. He's a big voice and a lot of following. So we respect him quite a bit, but we definitely want to kind of get to that level and be able to have live streams like that. And that's kind of why we're starting to do this for sure.
Definitely be. I mean, I think this is going decent. I mean, considering we logged on with the intention to kind of follow play by play with the race, we didn't have that. But thanks to everyone that stuck in here. I haven't seen it. I don't think it's dipped under 7 or 8 viewers. So we've had some pretty good viewers in here interacting with us. So we appreciate that. Hope to grow this and keep doing it.
Yeah, I hope we can do this a lot more this year. I think we have some potential to probably do this during maybe some NASCAR races as the season goes on. I doubt if we'll be able to do it for Daytona or Atlanta the first 2 weeks. Kind of going to be busy those weeks. But as the season goes on, trying to ramp up the live streams, trying to get some additional content, kind of find new ways to reach everybody, and whatever you guys like, we want to be able to provide that type of content, whether it's talking about Larson exclusively or if it's other racing as well. And as we say that, Sipe God says, as long as you guys stick to Larson, I'm here for a long time. Yeah, I mean, obviously our primary focus is always going to be Kyle Larson and his racing, but we're fans of the sport as well, and we just appreciate racing as a whole. So any racing that's going on, we're watching it and kind of paying attention and open to talk about any type of racing. I admit I'm starting to like him. Arizona Cowboy says, I admit I'm starting to like him more. Talking about Chaz, he's definitely matured more for sure. I mean, it seems like he's kind of backed off on the Larson slander quite a bit, Dylan. He's kind of came on board really with the high limit deal.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to be less lightening up a little bit. I forget what race it was. He kind of laid into him for something. It was near the end of last year. I'm not sure. I don't really keep up with him too much. I just kind of know when you have something to say. But yeah, I mean, he gets good viewership though. I mean, he's built a good fan base for sure. I mean, his live streams seem to be the thing that he thrives in. But he's definitely committed to it. So hats off to him for that, staying consistent. That's one of the hardest things with content creation, staying consistent. So
Yeah, I mean, I think we've done a really nice job of staying pretty up to date with everything involving Kyle. Uh, and the other thing with Chaz too, I think we've only had one run in with him really. I think Dylan, we've only had one little scuffle with him over the what was that over that was the high limit going national thing where we wasn't it about that
it was
in the
something
all-star thing.
last year. He mentioned us in something, and like
Yeah,
because he likes to call Larson fans like Larsonites or whatever it is.
yeah,
And I think he mentioned us something in like a YouTuber, and I think you threw a comment on the video or something.
I
I
think
can't remember what it was.
I think what it was, it was about the it was something. We made a breaking news post and something was like worded slightly like
Oh yeah,
off
yeah,
and
yeah.
people were taking it the wrong way. And we have to be one thing we've definitely learned through doing LarsonLand over the past couple of years is you have to be really careful with how you word everything, and anything can be taken the wrong way. Anything can be flipped or turned into something else. So you got to be really careful with everything you post. Sipecott said, at first I was confused with how hot laps and qualifying and all that worked. At least now I understand. Even got me a nice flow sub. Nice, nice, nice. We love to see everybody hopping on flow and getting more involved with dirt track racing. Hopefully you can get out there to the track sometime soon. But yeah, I would recommend for you checking out the high limit schedule, and there are those 4 California races
It's the one at
on the
Silver
schedule.
Dollar too, right?
Yeah, there's the one at Tulare, Thunderbolt Raceway, King Speedway, Placerville, and then Silver Dollar. So I don't know how far any of those tracks are from LA. I'm not like super familiar with the
Yeah.
California area. To answer your question before, neither of us have been to the Clash, so I don't think Dylan, I don't think you've been to California either. I haven't been to California at all. So
Furthest I've been for a race was the Bristol night race last year in Tennessee.
yeah, the farthest west I've been is Dallas. So I haven't been anywhere outside of Texas, which I'd love to go to California and watch some some racing sometime soon. It's they got a lot of good dirt tracks out there. It would be awesome to have some kind of weekend where Kyle was running like a NASCAR race and dirt like the same couple day period. That would be like a dream to go out there and watch like a 3 or 4 night deal. Speaking of which, Kyle's been big on the Australia talks, Dylan, about going to go race Australia next year. I don't know how the hell we're going to cover Kyle racing in Australia, keeping up with our results and all that stuff because the time difference is huge, and I don't know. Maybe we'll have to take turns staying up 24 hours to post updates on what Kyle's doing.
And have like clothesline pins on our eyes, trying to stay awake.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Like I don't even know. Uh, I don't even know. I mean, it's going to be tough to do, but I know everybody's going to all the East Coasters and I mean, I don't know. Is the time difference is it worse or better for West Coast? I'm not sure, but
Time in Australia right now is 1:37 p.m. So it's an 8 hour time difference for East Coast.
yeah. So racing wouldn't be starting probably for another what, like 6-7 hours, and that's like a
Yeah,
you think a 3 or 4 hour show. So that would be like a late ass night for us, probably like going into like the early AM hours for East Coast. So, but that's the thing about it, people, all the Larson fans are going to be counting on us to see the updates, see what's going on, because most of them are going to be in bed. They're going to be tucked in nice and cozy, waiting to see what LarsonLand posts in the morning when they wake up to go to work.
yeah, that would be interesting to see how that pans out. Maybe no, play by play posts on the race. Maybe just results for that one.
I know we'll have to probably get another subscription or something for that, Clay per view or whatever. Uh, working on an automotive thing right now. Might pursue NASCAR. It's like sponsored by them. So I moved to Carolina. Never been to the East. Back to the Clash though. Fun fact: I snuck in last week. Have you guys ever snuck into a race? I can't say I have ever snuck into a race, but the thing about the Clash, wasn't it free admission to get into the race
Yeah,
on Saturday anyway? So I mean,
because they lost a ton of money on that because they had to move it up. So everyone that was there Saturday just was able to get a free race, and I think they refunded everyone.
I guess everybody technically snuck in, right?
Yeah.
Oh, well, the track. You snuck
Oh,
into the track? Okay. So you like went on the track. Is that what you're saying or like yeah, the track
track.
walk with the Mexico drivers.
Oh, that's
Wow.
cool.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff on Friday. Nice.
I always thought that was funny, like back then, like old NASCAR, like 60s, 70s, 80s. I mean, literally anyone could just, walk up anywhere they please. Like there really wasn't no like security. Like there's a bunch of pictures and of, guys going to like victory lane and there'd just be like random people pushing the car like with the pit crew in the victory lane. And it just really wasn't, beefed up security.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of potential at NASCAR and like racing events in general compared to like other sports to be able
Yeah,
to
definitely.
sneak around, kind of, you find a little place where nobody's like watching or this or that. Like you can kind of like, I'm not saying we've ever done that because I mean we haven't, but it's like there's definitely some
I
opportunity
mean,
for it. And I've seen people before. I guess actually I do. The only story I do have is at Indianapolis 2 years ago when it was on Carb Day, the last like final practice, the Friday before the Indy 500. We were there watching like final practice, and we went down to like the to pit lane, and we snuck into like pit lane back there behind the teams and nobody was even watching. I mean, nobody was even standing there like checking to see if we had credentials or anything. And there were just a bunch of people walking behind the pit boxes just with no hard cards. So that was kind of cool. I guess you could say that's sneaking in.
it's kind of easy if you're up for it. Like I remember the first year I went to Daytona, I had like the fan zone. I didn't have, pit pass credentials, but the entryways there at Daytona, I mean fan zone and the pit pass, I mean there's like a main walkway where the fan zone can go from the infield to the there, the grass to like the infield area where all the concessions are, and then the pit walk is right in between that. So I mean, I saw like a bunch of people that were fan zone just sneaking into the pit walk and getting in the pits. And then like the past 2 years I've been there, I remember like there's this gate on the back side of the infield. I mean, literally just anyone can sneak in. Like the gate's just like wide open. You can just get infield access. So I mean, if you're looking for a place to sneak in NASCAR, I think it's kind of easy if you're looking for that. But I mean, I didn't really had a need to do so because thankfully we have great people around us that are willing to get us some credentials, so we don't have to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Huge shout out to Blaine Anderson on the 5 crew. Blaine's been a huge help to us and helping us
Definitely,
get passes and stuff for NASCAR races. He's a huge friend of the show. He's been on here last year, and we want to get him back on here soon. We tried to get some other pit crew members on during the off season. Things didn't really work out. We tried to get Kyle on the show too over the off season, but that didn't really pan out yet. We're not going to stop until we get Kyle on the show, and even once we get him, we're not going to stop. Pit Road Network says, have y'all ever come down to Florida for speed weeks at Volusia, Alltech, and Golden Isle before? Well, Dylan, me and you, we went to Volusia last year together one night during speed weeks. You've been to Alltech before. You went for an XR Super
yeah.
Series race at Alltech when Kyle was racing it. And then I've been to Golden Isle the past 2 years now. So this will be my third year going to Golden Isle. I had gone previously in January during Golden Isle 1.0, now Golden Isle 2.0 here in February with High Limit. But yeah, so we've been to all those tracks. Neither of us been to East Bay before. I'm thinking about going to East Bay for the grand finale in October. That's the same weekend as the NASCAR Charlotte Roval playoff race. So East Bay is
Went to
definitely the best track in Florida, though.
Yeah, I missed Golden Hours last year. I wish I made that because there was like a whole thing about whether Larson was going to race or not. And then by the time we found out, it was a little late. But planning to go to that after Daytona, and then went to Bubba Raceway Park
Oh yeah,
last
Bubba's.
January
Yep.
in
Ocala
Ocala with
Speedway. Ocala Speedway.
yeah, it's
Change
now
the
Ocala
name.
Speedway. Actually, it's a really cool logo, by the way. I sent that to you. It's kind of a cool revamp they did, but cool little track. I mean, it was kind of similar to Alltech, in a way, just kind of a little, small town, little dirt track. And unfortunately, Larson was DNF'd on the first lap. His car was absolutely destroyed, but it was cool being in the pits. Was able to go to the infield, get some cool shots, and watch the rest of the race there. But yeah, Volusia, great track. I mean, Bubba was nice. All Tech, I would say is probably my favorite out of them though, just because of how close the pits are to the track. That was one thing with Volusia that I noticed when we went. It was just so far. It was a hike to get from the stands back to the pits. So, especially with Larson, I mean, it seems like which for good reason, tries to park as far away as possible from
Oh
the
yeah,
beginning of the pit. So,
dude.
it's a hike.
I'll never forget that night we were at Lincoln in Pennsylvania for the PA Speed Week, and Kyle, the 57 was parked all the way in turn. What was it? I guess that was turn 3, right? And the pit entry to come into the pits has to go all the way around the track to get over to turn 3. So his trailer was on turn 3, and we were in the stands on the front straightaway. So you had to walk all the way around turn 1 and 2, all the way down the back straightaway to get back to where he was. And it was like impossible for us to get between the pits and the
Yeah.
grandstands because it was just like so far.
And you're trying to shoot content. Like the one time I was like standing there before the feature, trying to stay at the pits, got the video of him pulling out on the track, and then I just like darted to try to get back to the stands with you. And thankfully that there was a red there, so I didn't really miss much of the feature. But
Yeah.
some tracks definitely make it difficult to travel back and forth between them. But
Pit Road Network says nice. We'll be at Golden Isle for the High Limit Lucas show. Well, we'll see you there. Hopefully. I don't know. Do you? I just subscribed to your channel. I see you have a little podcast going too. So I want want to check that out, see what kind of content you have up there. But we appreciate your support. Sype God says that too. Hopefully the DNFs go down this year, mostly on Cup, but Dirt he only had one or a couple, right? Last year DNFs on Dirt. I mean, I know the big one that sucked was the Eldora Million last year, and the sprint car didn't get to finish that event, which ended in upside down and drama the next day because he didn't go to the night before the King's Royal, and we posted and said he was racing, and he didn't end up racing, and all kinds of crazy stuff there. Dylan, is there any other you come to your mind from like Dirt, like DNFs other than Bubba? You know, Bubba's was a big DNF, and then kind of looking through the.
I can't think of it.
Oh, it's Tri-City in the late model in June. That one, right at the beginning of June.
I mean, unless the car is just absolutely destroyed or like there's an engine issue, they usually get back out there. Like if it's a tire or whatever, something they can fix in the infield. It's really not too common unless the car is just completely cooked.
Well, I mean, looking off of my results spreadsheet, he did. There was not a single race that he didn't make the A main for in 2023. So he qualified for every race on Dirt. He didn't have any issues that prevented him from qualifying. So, definitely had to come through a couple B mains throughout the season, but
wasn't last year, but I remember that infamous Hagerstown track record in the late model where the engine blew up and it kind of ruined that night. What was that, 2021?
It was either 2021 or 2020. I think it was 2021. I'm looking at my spreadsheet right now. Yeah, 2021. Yep, okay. April 17th, 21.
Yep, that's when he still had the blue car.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the Mav TV car. Yeah. It looked clean. I'm a big fan of red race cars too, but the blue and black number 6 is definitely a good looking car. Do they have backup cars in Dirt? Yeah, usually they'll have backup cars. It just depends on the situation. Like when the Rumleys went out to Vado for the Wild West shootout earlier in the year, or like in January, when Kyle was racing those 5 or 6 nights there, they tow out the main car and a backup car, and Kyle actually ended up going to the backup car that week, one of the nights, and I think that was ultimately the car that he ended up winning in on the Sunday night feature.
The car was way faster than the first one. Kind of a blessing in disguise for him to get in the backup in that sequence.
Yeah. All right. Well, a little bit over on our time here. We said we're gonna cut it off at an hour, but good conversation, good talk in the chat. Appreciate everybody for tuning in and listening to our first live stream here on YouTube. We'll hopefully have some more of these as the season progresses, and we'll post whenever we're streaming on YouTube. We'll post on all of our social media, and hopefully you guys tune in and hopefully you enjoyed today's show.
Yeah, we've had a great following. Like you said, I think we peaked at 2021 something at some point, but we haven't dropped below 7. I've been kind of looking.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here before we drop below 7.
Yeah, we gotta keep that streak. It's good for our egos to not drop below 7.
Yeah. Right. All right. Well, for any of you that are going to Golden Isle or any of the other races that we'll be at this year, we hope to see you there. And looking forward to East Bay tomorrow, doubleheader, hot lap starting at 4 on Flow Racing. We'll have all of the coverage here, all the live updates on LarsonLand on our X, or formerly Twitter. Thank you guys again for watching today's live stream. We'll see you next week on the LarsonLand podcast to recap day